Hello everyone and welcome to another Brother Crypt YouTube videos. Today I'm going to be discussing wallets and the best way that you can store your recently purchased Bitcoin. In the previous video we covered how you can buy your first Bitcoin, but today I'm going to give you more of an in-depth step about how to store your newly acquired valuable asset. Um, there are multiple ways which you can store your cryptocurrency. You can either store them on your computer using a software wallet. Um, there are online wallets which you can download and use, or you can actually store it also on your computer using a software wallet which downloads the whole blockchain. Um, you also have options on your mobile phone for you to download apps which are on your mobile phone. But then also you can use a hardware wallet like the Trezor, which I strongly recommend. I've had one for about 2 months now, and I really like them. I like them so much that I've bought a second one for myself and another one for my wife. I find these the most secure way to save my Bitcoin. But yes, let's start right from square one. Now, I think the first way that anybody can get in the game very quickly without forking out for an expense for a hardware wallet is just to download a software wallet on their computer. So if you go to bitcoinorg.net, what you'll actually download here is a Bitcoin Cutie wallet. I'm not too sure what the Cutie stands for, but this is the name of the wallet. In fact, let me see if I have it on my computer. I do. Okay, so I'll start it up and I'll show it to you. It's just loading up. But basically, with a Bitcoin Qt wallet, you can download this wallet. However, one of the biggest caveats is that it requires a lot of data. What this type of wallet does is it downloads the whole blockchain. Now, if you're not too sure what a blockchain is, the blockchain is the ledger for all of the Bitcoin's transactions. So when you buy a Bitcoin, there is actually a transaction because the Bitcoin that you purchase is sent from the owner or the seller, and it is sent to you, the buyer, the newly recent acquirer of Bitcoin. And for that Bitcoin to be sent from point A to point B, it is sent via peer-to-peer networks of other computers, and therefore Bitcoin predicates itself and works efficiently because it has a ledger. So your transaction is added to the ledger. Now, as Bitcoin has been going for probably about 9 years, since roughly 2009, well, 8 years, but probably I think it's about 9 years, since 2008 or 2009, there are probably millions of transactions. Therefore, I'm estimating anywhere that the ledger or the blockchain is probably about 2 to 3, maybe 4 gig in size. Let me just show you what the Qt wallet looks like. All right, so here we have the Bitcoin Core wallet. I had the application, but I don't anymore. And as we can see right now, it says synchronizing with network. So every time you start this desktop wallet, it will say synchronizing with network. We can see here the message said last received block was generated 4 weeks ago. So what it's doing is it's downloading all of the blocks that weren't generated between now and 4 weeks previously. Now, the first time I downloaded this and I used it, it took me I think about 2 weeks to download the whole blockchain. And for the last few days, for about a week, I left my computer on almost 24 hours a day. So it was just downloading. Um, and then afterwards all of the transactions were shown. But basically, with a Bitcoin wallet, you have the ability to send. You can ask it to create an address for you so that you can send your Bitcoin, and then you would enter in the amount, and then you could also put a label, so a reminder of what the transaction was for. And then you could also determine how much of a fee you wish to send to the miners. Just for ease of use, I would say just leave the generic transaction fee. But also you have a receive feature. So here we can see some of the transactions that I've received in the past and some of the labels for them. Okay, and then also we can have a look at the transactions. So we can see that from my previous wallet, I have done all of these transactions in the past, with some of my earliest being in 2014 and my most recent in 2017. So this was the last one was on August 2nd of August with 2017, and this was sent to my wife, Crypto Witch, and I sent her 1 Bitcoin. Okay, so that's a quick overview of the software wallet. The software wallet's really good, but it has to download lots of data to the tune of around 2 to 4 gigabytes of data, and it always needs to continuously be uploaded. I found this to be a problem for myself, um, because if I hadn't updated the blockchain recently, I had to open my computer, give it a few minutes, give it a few hours for it to update, and then I could see my recent transactions. So this always didn't necessarily work for me. Okay, so that's an overview of the Bitcoin Cutie wallet. So let's move on. Now, I've brought up this page because if you wanted steps on how to do it, I think basically these 5 steps just reiterate what I've said. You would download the Qt wallet, you would install it, and then you would download the blockchain. You could either download the blockchain via file torrent, which means from a peer-to-peer network, or you could import the blockchain file into Qt. If somebody that you trust, they gave it to you, you could probably get it off a data key, or you can download it from a website, or you could just let it run on your computer like I did the old-fashioned way, and allow all of the files to be saved and to be stored on your computer. So basically, this is what this page is doing. But if you're not too sure of any of the steps that I've just covered on a Qt wallet, then I recommend you just go to this site, bitcoin-n.com, install-bitcoin-qt-faster.html, and then that will give you a step-by-step instruction about how you can get started with your Bitcoin Qt wallet. Okay, so just to summarize, a Bitcoin Qt wallet is a software wallet which sits on your computer. Okay, so now let's move on. Another option is really for you to download a iPhone or a mobile Bitcoin wallet. I'm an iPhone user, so that's why I've searched this. And after my search, I found out that there's a blockchain wallet. If this is the blockchain, I think this is the Bitcoin blockchain organization, and I think that this is quite trustworthy. I have never downloaded a mobile phone wallet. The reason I'm not too keen on mobile phone wallets is because the data and your private keys for your Bitcoin are not always actually stored on the phone. Basically, you're using a server, and you're giving up your private keys to somebody else. So my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong or leave me a note, is that you are trusting a third party to look after your Bitcoin, and then they are actually doing the transactions on your behalf. And I think that even if they are doing this for you, they might take additional fees. But the purpose of Bitcoin is for it to be decentralized, and it's for giving the power to the individual. So me, I always like to be in control of my assets. So I'm not necessarily too keen on mobile phone wallets for the reasons that I've just explained. But there are many different wallets out there, and I have heard, some good things. But me, I have my own opinion. But yes, if you did want to consider a mobile wallet, it's just as easy as doing a Google search and finding out what wallets are available. However, this blockchain, Bitcoin wallet by blockchain, it does look promising. Now, if you wanted to select what type of wallet you wanted to get, continuing in the mobile space, it's just a matter of going to Bitcoin.org, going to wallets, and then you can select which type of wallet you want in the mobile sector. They actually make wallets also for Android phone and surprisingly for BlackBerry and Windows phones as well. So just determine which wallet is good for you, and then just get started. One of the things I can say about mobile wallets is that I have heard about Bread Wallet. I have heard that it's pretty good from other users. I've never used it myself, but the Bread Wallet is familiar to me out of this list of 7 other wallets that we see, which are all suitable for the Apple iPhone. So one of the pick of the bunch I would recommend out of this is the Bread wallet because I've heard of its popularity. But again, unfortunately, I am not experienced in using mobile phone wallets. Now, this is the blockchain website which we covered. We could see that the blockchain iPhone app was in the previous page, but seeing as this website's come up, I just wanted to look at it quickly. So basically, it's just telling you that it's safe, it's secured, and yet you can probably buy and sell your Bitcoin, and you can have it on all of your devices as well. Okay, and this website looks, quite trustworthy, and it looks like it has a step-by-step approach for people who are new to digital currencies. Okay, but let's move on. Let's concentrate now on the Trezor. Now, as I stated to you, I have the Trezor wallet, and I've been using the Trezor wallet for about a few months, and in my opinion, it works like a dream. So as you can see, you attach it to the USB in your computer, and then your computer interfaces with the device for you to be able to manage your Bitcoin wallet. So now, unfortunately, you can't see I've got my wallet plugged in, and what I'm going to do is just give you an overview of my wallet and how it works today. So when you buy your Trezor, but before I get into that, what I'll say is that when you buy your Trezor, you'll have to fill out a seed card. And basically a seed card is a list of words generated by the device for you to write down in case there's any damage to your Trezor, to your hardware wallet, if it gets lost or if it gets stolen. If you buy another one, then you have the ability to regenerate your wallet onto another device. So as long as you never lose your seed card, then your Trezor is really safe, and so are your Bitcoins. Okay. Let me just do a Google search about the Trezor seed card to see if I can illustrate to you exactly what I mean. So Trezor seed recovery. Do we have any images? Okay, yes. So this image here, um, this is exactly what I was talking about. You need to enter in the words. So when you get started with your Trezor, you would enter in the words onto this card, 24 in total, and then you would save it somewhere safe. And then once it's saved, if you ever lost your Trezor or it was broken or it was damaged, I'm imagining you would go to the website and then enter in your new device and then enter in these words again, and then your previous profile would be created on a new device. Okay, so setting up the Trezor is quite easy. It will probably take you about 10 to 15 minutes to begin with. The longest part that I found was actually writing all of the words for the seed recovery card. But once that's done, it's plain sailing. When you install your Trezor device, you may have to download some firmware on your computer, and what that firmware is to talk is a bridge software for your device to be able to talk to your computer's operating system and then also to the Trezor website. And then once you've set up those two things, it's really plain and easy sailing. So let's get into it. When you have set up your Trezor, every time you wanted to access your wallet, you can come to this website, Trezor, and then you would go into wallet. Now, I've heard that you can have other software, like other software wallets, which are connected to your Trezor so that you don't have to be reliant upon this website. However, since I've started using the Trezor, I've just been using this website and I've really come to terms with it. I really like it, and I think it's okay. You know, it's got a good user experience. Now, the Trezor forces you to enter a PIN. I think the PIN can be between 4 to 8 digits. So I have a PIN code, and although you can't see the numbers here, the numbers are illustrated on the Trezor device. So what I do is I look at the device, and then I enter the numbers in accordingly. And then once I've entered in the numbers, I just press enter, and it lets me in. Now, this is a little bit advanced, but the thing is with the Trezor, you can allow labeling. So for all of my accounts, I can have different labels. And then what this do, it will put different sort of labels against, it will put different sort of labels against my Bitcoin accounts. Okay, so with the Trezor device, we have the ability to save multiple types of cryptocurrencies. We can save Bitcoin, we can save Bitcoin Cash, and we can save Dash, and we can save Litecoin, we can save Zcash, we can save Ethereum, and we can save Ethereum Classic. So we can sort of save all of the majority of the top five or some of the top first five prolific coins. You know that I have recommended this website called CoinMarketCap. So if we go to CoinMarketCap, we can see that the top three cryptocurrencies by market capitalization are on the Trezor. We don't have Ripple, but then we have Litecoin, which is number 5. We don't have NEM, but we have Dash, which is number 7. And we also have Ethereum Classic, which is number 10. And then we also have Zcash, which is number 18. So even though all of these cryptocurrencies on the Trezor are not the top 5 or 6, 7, Dash, Zcash, and Ethereum. No, excuse me. Dash, Zcash, and Litecoin have been around for quite a few days. These are the um, uncles and aunties of Bitcoin. Let's say that Bitcoin is the granddaddy, that's been around out the longest. Litecoin was out probably a year or two in quick succession after Bitcoin. And then I remember Zcash hearing about that. And then Dash, which used to be called Darkcoin, that also came out a few years. And then you have your Ethereums. So what you have are the top 5 to 6 most sort of oldest and mostly widely known cryptocurrencies used. So these are still good investments, and luckily we're able to store them on on a Trezor. But yes, let me just quickly show you around how the Bitcoin works, and then I'll show you some of my savings for the other cryptocurrencies. So here I have multiple accounts. I have one, two, three, four. I have 4 accounts, and I use these for different purposes. So this is my personal wallet, which has nothing in it at the moment. Then I have my trading wallet. I'm sort of working towards saving more funds to be able to send it to my trading platform. And then I have another wallet for Bitconnect. In fact, I have 2 wallets for Bitconnect. But the reason I have 2 for Bitconnect is that I was given just over $1,000 for me to purchase my flight and my hotel for the Bitconnect ceremony in Thailand on the 28th. So I sort of sent it to a separate entity, to a separate wallet. And then I have my Bitconnect loan movement. Now, this zero point 0.7 BTC Bitcoin that was sent to me about 2 or 3 days ago. This was the weekly earnings that I got from my loan in the Bitconnect. And what I usually do is I'll send it from my Bitconnect online wallet, then I'll send it to my Trezor, and then from the Trezor, I will send it to my trading account so that it can be liquidated back into pounds. My priority is to pay back my loan in its entirety from the original loan capital. So that's what I aggressively do every week. But then let's just have a look. Let's just go to Bitcoin loan movement because that's the biggest wallet. So what we can see is that we have the transactions. We can see all of the transactions, the money that's come in over the few days. We can see that there was a busy amount of activity on a 23rd. The red indicates money leaving and the green indicates money coming in. Okay, and basically this works like the Cutie wallet in that if you wanted to receive funds, you go to receive, and then every time you use a previous address, a new one is generated. So this is the 6th generated address. If I wanted to receive any funds, I would just copy it and then I would paste it to the sender or anybody that wants to send me Bitcoin. And then if I wanted to send Bitcoin, we would just click send as above. We would enter the address to send it to. Now it says don't forget to double check the address. Okay, so let's say if I wanted to send Bitcoin to myself, I'll just go through an example with you. I would go to send and then I would paste it. Now the way that I get around this is by always checking the first 3 digits. So I would make a mental note 1L5 and then look at the last 3 digits, WCE, 1L5, WCE, and then we would check the source, 1L5, WCE, and then we can rest assured that we have got the right address. If you wanted to enter a label or a reminder for what the transaction is for, you can enter it here. And then now you can enter in the amount as well that you wish to send. So I'm not going to send this, but let's just say I want to send zero point 0.5. I would enter in 0.5, and then it gives me a calculation of what this is in a monetary amount. And the beautiful thing about Trezor is that it works in multiple currencies as well. So then we can select Great British Pounds to get an idea of how much we are sending in pounds as well. And then also with the Trezor, it tells you about the fees. Now, as you can see, Bitcoin fees can be quite expensive to send. So just to send like £1,789, that requires a fee of £4.84. In my opinion, that is very expensive. However, there are issues with the Bitcoin network and with miners. Hopefully, it will address so that fees can be a bit more competitive. But the way I look at it is, it's just a cost of doing business. I wouldn't be in this space if it wasn't profitable or it wasn't lucrative. So that fee can just be easily absorbed. However, with that said, we don't have to settle on accepting a normal fee. You can either choose economy, and then the price is almost half. It's gone from about £4.80 to about £2.46. But me, I'm very tight. I would always select a low fee. Okay, so this cost of the this low fee is priced at £1.23. Again, I think that Bitcoin prices should be lower, but I would just pay the £1.23. And then usually what you find is that with the variation of fee amounts, um, it will dictate the speed at which your bitcoins arrive at its destination. So for example, if we selected normal or high, our transaction should be dealt with lightning quickly, possibly in 5 to 10 minutes. That's what I'm guessing. However, by selecting low, our transaction is probably processed and completed in anywhere from half an hour to an hour. Now, when you're sending and you're receiving bitcoins, it's all about confirmations. Okay, so a confirmation basically is when you send bitcoin to a third party, or a third party send bitcoin to you. We Anybody will need a confirmation on the blockchain network to know that, hey, the bitcoin I have sent you has been sent. So without one confirmation, nobody will know if the Bitcoin has been sent. But after one confirmation has been compiled and is visible, then the other party, the receiving party or the sending party, then they can tell you that yes, it has been sent. I've received it. I can see the confirmation, so I know it's been sent. Usually, when you're sending money to an exchange or to local bitcoins or to a shop or to a store, they will need anywhere between 3 confirmations to maybe 6 confirmations for them to be able to truly know, and for them to know that your Bitcoin has been sent safely. Okay, so the more confirmations you have, the longer it will take, and the less you pay, the longer it will take. Okay, so if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask me. But I hope I've covered it for you. So in a nutshell, this is how the Bitcoin QTC wallet sort of works for Bitcoin. Let me just give you an overview of some of the other cryptocurrencies. So what we're going to do now is look at the Bitcoin Dash. Now I need to enter in my PIN again. Okay, so for Bitcoin Cash, I got 4.8 Bitcoin Cash in my wallet. I actually got this at the time of the fork because when Bitcoin Cash was created at the time of the fork, I had about 4.8 Bitcoin, so I was given an equal amount in Bitcoin Cash tokens. So without going on about this too much, this is really for the initiated, for people that know the difference in forks and what they do. But let me move on. Let me show you my Dash wallet as well. So for Dash, yes, I received 5. I have 5 Dash here, and this pretty much works the same. I bought 5 units of Dash ages ago, and I haven't really used them. I'm saving them, but yes, I'm fortunate that I can save them on my wallet. Litecoin, Zcash, and Ethereum, I don't really have any, but I'll just walk you through. So not really much to see here, but then the outline is the same as Bitcoin. Zcash, do I have any Zcash? I think I might have a little bit. I'm not too sure. Okay, so Zcash, I have just less than 1, and that's been here for some time. Okay, now let's go to Ethereum, and I'll quickly give you an overview of Ethereum. So with Ethereum, you have a different sort of interface than you do with all of the other cryptocurrencies, and that interface is found at my Ether wallet. So what you need to do is how would you like to access your wallet? You would then choose Trezor. You would select that and connect to Trezor. Now what it will ask us for are for our public keys, and then yes, we always want to export those. As long as it's not your private keys. Your private keys are called private for a reason, so that they can be kept to yourself and nobody else. But your public keys, yes, you can search. We can share our public keys with trusted sites. So the Trezor wallet works differently in that you have Ether, which is the currency of Ethereum. By the way, Ethereum is another cryptocurrency. You can have Ether sent to different addresses, and then once it's sent to a different addresses, it stores them separately, so you don't get a complete calculation of all of your holdings. So here we can see that we have 1.05, 1.38, 0.23, and 1.6. So in total, that's about 3, probably 4, just over 4 Ether in total. But let me show you quickly one of these wallets. So let's click number 4, and then let's unlock the wallet. Right. So here I have 1 Ether, and what it works is pretty much the same way. We can send Ether, we enter in the address and then the amount to send, and then they have a different terminology called gas. Honestly, I'm really not too sure what the gas limit means verbatim, but in my opinion, through my usage, it's the same way as a minus fee. What I do though is I just always leave it at 21,000 because that's a default. But I don't think sending ethers as expensive as Bitcoin. And then if we wanted to send Ether tokens, we would just enter in the address and then the amount to send and then generate transaction. And after generate transaction, I think there's one more confirmation again. Now, if we wanted to receive Ether, we would go back to the previous screen, to the previous section that we had before. Excuse me, seems to be lost. We would go back to the previous section that we had before, and then we would just generate a new address. Okay. So yeah, we've gone full circle now. So if we wanted to receive Ether, we could enter in a new address, or we could just use an existing address, and then we would give that to the third party, or the sender of Ether, and then it would be sent to our Trezor. Okay. But let's have a look at one of the different addresses, because in one of these different address, I do have different pay tokens, and I just want to quickly give you an understanding of what the different pay tokens are. So it's probably best that we start from square one again, just go around in circles. Okay, so let's look at number one. Okay. Okay, so yes, this is an example of some of the different tokens. Now, Ethereum is very big in the sense that, as well as you having Ethereum, which is its own cryptocurrency by its own right, with the acronym ETH, which is Ether, which is what we send. You know, if I send you one Ether, then that has a value of $355. However, the beauty about Ethereum is that it carries a lot of other tokens with it. So let me just open the list. As you can see here, I have 31.99 pay tokens. Now, pay tokens are the acronym for 10x, and 10x is a service which relies on which will be releasing the first cryptocurrency debit card, which enables you to spend multiple cryptocurrencies. And the beautiful thing about the 10x card is that there will be no transaction fees for international purchases. So obviously, I'm based in the UK, and I tend to travel a lot. And when I do travel to foreign countries, if I want to use my Visa card or my debit card, bang, with each transaction, I'm automatically hit with a 3% fee just for using my credit card or debit card abroad. 10x is going to eliminate all of this, meaning that if you have cryptocurrencies on your Visa debit card, which might be Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dash, basically, I'm aware that all of the top cryptocurrencies that you can have on your Trezor, they will accept, and probably about 30 more. Okay, but with 10x, you can buy their tokens right now, and once you buy their tokens, they can actually be saved on the Trezor wallet, as we can see here. So if we go right down to pay, we can see that yes, the pay token is actually stored. So I can actually interact with this. I can send pay tokens, or I can receive them. And then this is the full amount of other Ethereum based cryptocurrencies that can be stored on the Trezor. So for newbies, people fresh to the game, I understand that I might have covered some advanced topics, and if I have, don't worry about it. Just send me a message or let me know about things that you're not too sure of, and then I'll be happy to cover a video which goes into some of these aspects into greater depth. But for now, I think my video is finished. I think I've covered everything I wanted to. If you want to get a wallet, just to summarize, there are multiple wallets that you can get. You can get a software wallet, which you'll keep on your computer, one for Mac, one for Windows, or you can get a mobile phone wallet. Again, I've told you reasons why I don't like the mobile phone wallet, because you're not in control of your own keys. However, I found that the best solution is to have a hardware wallet like the Trezor. And there are other wallets out there as well, which are also hardware wallets. I think one is called the Keep Key, and I think you have a Nano S as well. I've gone for the Trezor and I'm very happy with my purchase. So once again, thank you for watching one of my videos. If there's anything that you're not too sure about, please comment. If you like this video, please like it. If you didn't like it, please dislike it so I can gauge public opinion. And yes, if you need to contact me, please feel free to. And if you think this video will be helpful to you or to any of your friends, please forward it to them, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can get updates more frequently and quickly. Again, this is Brother Crypt. Thank you for watching. I'm signing out. Until next time, bye.